Now we're going to put the Durarock down. Only thing is, I got these wires here for the electric heat. So I kind of don't want them to be under the Durarock between that and the cement. I think I'm going to cut the Durarock and then just open up a little gap in between the piece that I cut off and the piece that I cut from, so the wires have a little place to hide. And I'll duct tape them down so they can't rub against each other or against anything else, and they'll be protected while they expand and contract over time from having the insulation rub through. Oh, that works. I think I can just tuck it in the seam here. Maybe not. There's just not enough slack. All right. We get a pencil and make a mark. It's a shame too, we're so close. Oh well. That'll have to do. I made a nice straight line with my level as a guide that covered roughly the area of my original reference line. And now I'm going to score this. I mirrored the line on the back, so I can score it on the back as well. Now this ought to crack right off. Boy, that fiberglass mesh is strong. All right, let's put that in place. Fortunately, this stuff is 3 foot, and the hallway is roughly 3 foot. So I'm just going to center it up, and that should be good enough. Kiss it up against the tile. And time for some duct tape. I drew a line where the edge was, and then I slid this back out of the way. And now, let the magic begin. And try and lay these out so they're not twisted. I guess I'll work it from this side. Alright, if you won't cooperate, I'll do you one wire at a time. Oh, duct tape. You are both magical and mystical. Is there anything you can't do? Ironically, duct tape seems to have been replaced as the tape of choice to work on ducts. So now we really do use it for everything except for what it was intended for. That's enough to make it to the wall. I think so, yeah. Stretch that up good. Okay. Time for you to enjoy your buddy. I changed my mind. I replaced that cut sheet with a whole sheet because I'll be able to use the cut sheets over there. And then I measured out. So I measured from here to here and transferred that here. I, of course, measured from this side to that side, and that gave me from there to there. And then I knew that once I got to here, I had a 45 going that way. So I used the speed square, the triangle that's called the square, and the framing square came up with my measurement. This should give me plenty of room. This I might cut a little bit on this side of the line just to make sure we don't have too tight of a fit. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just cut it on the line and I can always come back and take more off, right? Occasionally you'll have to trim the molding or even the door jamb. I'm using the thickness of the Wonder Board and a double layer of the flooring, and that will compensate for the padding that's going to go under the flooring. And I'm just going to put this in place. That's a little long, so I'll use this. It's shorter. Double thickness. And you get yourself an oscillating tool. You can use a Japanese back draw handsaw as well, but obviously this is a little more speedy and modern. And here we go. And the battery's dead and this blade's seen better days, but we'll fix that. Oh, I should throw a new blade in too, but I won't. Well, that made a big difference. And then we gotta sweep this out of the way. I'll probably get the shop vac back out, but you get it. I cut and placed the Wonder Board. I went with the pattern you're about to see because it limited how many small pieces there would be. So where there's high traffic, I have whole width pieces and not little scraps. This is a high traffic area, but I'm going to be running the floorboards over it this direction. So they're going to span that, and I don't think it'll be a big deal. And I put a little piece over here where you're probably not going to walk because you'd walk right into that wall. And then nice tight joints. And I think this was the way to go. I would have liked to have cut it so that it slipped under the door there, but I had to fight it into place and it just wouldn't have worked out. And over here, my customer's talking about getting a new door. They cut the sill. That sill should be running the full width of the door jamb, and it's not. So I stayed back so that when a new door goes in, it'll be right, and it'll butt up against the floor and the board. I'll be able to just put a little caulk on there instead of having to put a filler strip in. I'm not sure what is going to happen in this utility room, maybe nothing. But just for the heck of it, I ran the floorboard all the way into the inside of the door jamb. I'll probably do the same thing with the flooring. And, well, that's that. Now it's time for the padding, the blue padding like we used in here. And start laying down some floor. I am cutting and placing the padding for underneath the laminate floor. Stuff's a little bit of a pain to cut, but a sharp razor does all right. Scissors work pretty well as well. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a mark here. Come in and cut this. And if you don't get all the way through, just bring it up where you can see and where you can work on it. And cut the rest of the way then. Okay. And I'm going to leave a little bit to go under the door there. Tuck it in and fit it a little bit more better. All right, that's pretty darn good. This has an adhesive strip under here. You pull off this backing paper and it glues to the piece in front of it. I'm going to cut a piece to fit from this line to here. I'll try to cut it so that the adhesive strip for here glues it to that one, and cut it here, and this adhesive strip will glue it to that one. And let me just show you. I try to lay it out so that I have as many big pieces as possible. Now, it's wide enough to make it across the whole hallway. So back here, I rolled it lengthwise and just trimmed off the excess on the right-hand side. I left the adhesive strip on the left-hand side and taped it to the padding sticking out from under the bathroom floor. Then I switched to going this way, because here the hallway's wider than it. And I went from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, stuck it with the adhesive strip. And then this piece I unrolled lengthwise as well. That way I got one solid piece right from the under the door saddle to under the door saddle. And it's just going to help it stay put and be a little more stationary. Let me fill in this little strip and then we can start laying down laminate. Ooh, I hate these edge seams. Like you're going to have all kinds of space, when in actuality you probably will not. Okay, I left the rip fence on my saw, so it's already set up for the next piece and the piece after that. And the last piece I will measure and cut to length on the miter saw, so again, it won't matter. I won't have to take my rip fence off. So don't take it off until you know you're done. You can put it on and readjust it and probably get it perfect again, but better safe than sorry. Hopefully this got enough. And it does. All right. Cut that to length. Rip it and stick it in. Oh goody. There's a sheetrock screw sticking out here. go take care of that. The previous owner thought that 3-inch sheetrock screws were acceptable hardware for holding molding on. So there's that. Okay. Little bit snug on that corner bead. Ta-da! I think that's a pretty sharp looking floor. Wouldn't you agree? $41.25, so we'll say 41. So here's my mark for where the stairs are, and I added a 1/2 inch because the molding is a 1/2 inch. Plus there's always caulk. So I'm hoping that will give me the ability to stand this up, pop it in, and lay it down. If not, we have to do some fancy footwork, I guess. And here is our hallway floor completed and looking pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. And here's what it looks like going that way. Gonna look really sharp when the door saddles are in.